Atlanta adds two very good bigs in the offseason, but now they're shooting 36 threes in their first game. Obviously, their coach has that background from college. But what do you think of that plan for them and how the three-point revolution is coming to this league?
Well, I think it's a part of the game now for bigs to be able to stretch the floor and shoot the three and face up, and particularly in Carl's system, as well. So, they knew what they were getting. And there was something that we challenged Brianna Jones to do in Connecticut as well, and just to open up the game. And I think it just shows how versatile players are becoming. Even if it's a little bit outside your comfort zone, the way the game is changing, it's necessary.
Steph, Caitlin was talking about team building and how it is obviously different in the W because personnel can change so much. But what part of team building and the role that, especially the players who were here last year, what part did they play in building that culture and doing it kind of quickly, if you will?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of like what all of us do, right, every day, and going to work, and you're working with adults and people who have families, and it's different than college. I think when you talk about culture's so organic and it's ever changing, and you got to be intentional about not just building it but cultivating it, and it's through communication. It's through action. It's saying and doing what you say you're going to do. It's sacrifice. It's all of those things. And oftentimes I think we look at it as a linear process, but it's ever evolving. And I think we're being really intentional about being, number one, the type of people that we want to be. Number two, the type of teammates that we want to be. And then I think the culture starts to naturally just progress.
I was impressed with your comment the other day about be a fan, don't be a jerk. Have you had much feedback about that?
No.
Pro or con? Either?
No.
Sounds like a basic idea.
It sounds simple, right? I tell my kids that, at times when they start arguing and fighting with each other, I'm like, it doesn't take a lot to not be a jerk. And you actually have to work to be a jerk. It's just kind of one of my mantras.
We have like the three of the last number one picks with Ryan and
Oh, yeah.
well, not obviously counting Paige, but the last 3 years. And then you go back to even obviously Griner as a number one pick, and Alicia Gray was a rookie of the year. I wonder if you could maybe talk about the progression of talent at that level. I mean, those are all very different players, but maybe the things they have in common and how they've all been a success as top picks.
Yeah, and I think also, depending upon where you go, and when you're picking at that point, you've not been where you want to be, certainly, and you take the best player available, and oftentimes you're restructuring around that player. Brittany Griner was fortunate to be able to go to a team in Phoenix where she didn't have to be the one that led the charge necessarily. She got some time to adjust. And Alicia Gray, I don't even know what pick she was, but she has always been a favorite of mine, just the way that she plays, the impact that she makes on winning. And she does it quietly, from her freshman year at North Carolina to what she was able to do at South Carolina. Ryan, again, a special talent. And I think you see just the way that the game has progressed. In the past, number one picks have been one or two dimensional, and now they do everything. I mean, Ryan's 6'2" point guard. And what Paige and what Caitlin are able to do in terms of potentially putting up triple-double numbers every night, what AB has been able to do, and now certainly with more talent around her and around them. I say this a lot, and I know it sounds redundant, but there's more talent than there's ever been. There's more versatility than there's ever been. The game is in such a good place, and these players are just an example of that. Thank you.